Victoria, it's about time we got back to doing the things we love. And there's nothing we'd love more than to see this place full again. This is a place where we can enjoy our traditions and cherish the memories of just why we love it so much.
It's a place where we can enjoy the finer things in life.
And the things that keep your hands full.
And where you can hear your team's chant echoing around the ground.
But now, more than ever, we need to be on the same team. If you can, we need you to get your vaccination.
It's time to play your role. And while you're waiting for your jab,
Speak to your GP or pharmacist to get advice on which vaccine to take. Understand the facts, map out your game plan and get ready to book your COVID-19 vaccine.
it's all these things that will help get people back into the people's ground. You might just want to double check that's how you spell vaccination.
Victorians and live sport, the perfect match. And when I talk live sport, I talk frothies with your mates at the bar. Hey Mickey, about time the Cats won another premiership, don't you reckon?
You're an idiot, Bill. Not even Razor Ray would make a stupid call like that. Idiot.
All jokes aside, Mick, get your vaccination. It's the best decision you'll ever make.
We know you can't wait to get back to see the next bit of magic from the pocket. So it's about doing it for your community.
For our loved ones, for our heroes, for our friends, and for our family.
Doesn't matter who you are, we can all do our bit.
And it doesn't matter if you're part of the elderly or the vulnerable.
You haven't got one of these, Richo, have you?
Or if you're part of the young and fit category, like me.
Or the very happy with yourself category like the two of you seem to be.
It's about getting your jab, first and second doses, where the sequel is just as good as the original.
And for the same reason I've never done a sequel, this pandemic is not anything we ever want to see again. Your one action out there could help us see 100,000 people back in here. So come on, Victoria, from all of us, let's get back to doing what we love.
The long-awaited day is here. This is the grand final pre-game show.
My beautiful Perth. I love Perth as much as I love footy. Whadjuk Noongar land is a long way from the MCG. This place and this mighty stadium is primed and ready. We know how much Doggies and Demons fans would love to fill these seats. But be sure of this, we'll cheer for your teams as if they belong here. The West is honoured to be the custodians of this one day in September. And so wishes to do you proud. Welcome to Grand Final Week from wherever you'll be watching.
The great Dennis Committee, and welcome to the Sports Desk Grand Final Day. So bloody excited. Look, we just absolutely love Grand Final Day. Jay and Jack, good afternoon to you. How you feeling?
Going well, Sam. It's always an exciting time of the year, no matter where you are in the country, even in the world. There's going to be plenty of hype for the grand final, so super excited to get going.
Jack? What about you, Jack?
Best day of the year, Sammy. I am red hot and pumped. I mean, it's been killing me waiting all day to wait for this game at night, but I'm so excited. The hype's there. Even if it isn't in Melbourne, I am still red hot keen.
Yep, absolutely incredible. And just some news coming in. We've got Josh Martin. He's just popped out. Maybe a bit of internet trouble at the ground, but he's going to join us very, very soon, live from Optus Stadium. What a lucky man to be in there with really the golden ticket. We haven't had a grand final here now in 2 years, and it's hard enough to get a ticket when there's 100,000 in the stand for fans of the team. So, ironically, again, it's an all-Victorian grand final again for the second year in a row, when ironically at the MCG we didn't really have too many there. Okay, just getting live messages from Josh. He's trying to get back on. But what are your initial thoughts? Actually, he's joining now. He's here. Josh Martin is here live from Optus Stadium. We lost him for a second, but he's back. Josh, how does it feel to be in the stadium right now?
It's electric, dude. Never trust the stadium Wi-Fi. That's a lesson learned to me. But it's an incredible atmosphere here at the moment. We've still got a while till even the band start, but it's already really kicking off. You can see we've got a heap of people around already. Absolutely mental stuff already. It's gonna be a great day.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you're in your Bulldogs colours there, but we are going to reveal Josh is actually an Eagles supporter, but there's a lovely story that one of his friends who's a member from Melbourne literally said, like, you've got to wear the colours. That's your only really payment to get in. And normally under circumstances, I would turn my nose at people wearing, not your own colours to a grand final. But in these circumstances when fans are desperate to be there and just to show the colour for someone else, I think that's really cool. But what's the vibe as the stands are kind of feeling? Who's kind of filling it out more? Is it more of a Melbourne or Bulldog support from what you can see already?
Yeah, from what I can see, it looks like there's definitely a few more Melbourne supporters around. I guess the romance of the drought for them has really captured personal imagination, and people are getting behind that.
Yep.
Especially after watching them in the live snag. So people are right on the D's, but there's a fair few dogs around as well. So we can't discount the dogs today.
And how do you feel about, how's the whole overall week? I mean, because it's my favourite week of the year and it's such a big thing here. How has Perth really put it on for the whole week? What's the whole week in town been like?
It's been huge. Front page of the paper every day, all that sort of thing. We've had Max Gorn beards in the paper, Bailey Smith mullets in the paper. People are really getting behind it. It's been really exciting. Even driving to Perth today, I drove 3 hours to get to Perth today to come to the match, and seeing dogs and demons signs on the side of the road, people really buying into it. I think West Australians are real parochial people, as I'm sure you'll know with your dealings with me, Sam. Yeah, so I guess anything that's West Australian, even if it's not a West Australian team in the grand final, we're rapt to just have this game and be able to show off this incredible stadium we have to a national and an international audience.
Well, I mean, yeah, even Man City's been posting about the AFL this week. It's just been crazy. Look, I'm so jealous. So many people would want to be in there right now. 60,000 seats are going to be filled. What is your tip, margin, and a Norm Smith for this game? How are you feeling about that?
I'm on the Dogs. Absolutely. I'd be in big trouble if I wasn't on the Dogs. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be one in the middle. I think the Melbourne's contested ball is such a huge part of their game. But I reckon the Dogs with their chaos inside 50 will get a few a few sneaky goals. And for that reason, I'm on Cody Waitman, I think, for a roughie for the Norm Smith. If he can bob up and kick a few of those chaos goals, then Dogs might be able to go.
Oh, well, that's amazing. Thank you for coming on, Josh. I can hear it's getting loud in there. The concert is about to begin. So I'll let you enjoy that. But yeah, amazing. I'll have to get over to Optus Stadium there one day. But enjoy it, mate. Look, I hope it's going to be a thrilling game. And it sounds like they're kicking off, so I'll let you go.
Thanks very much, guys. Have a great one. See you later.
Cheers, mate. Thanks. Oh, how awesome was that to have him live from the stadium? That's a first for the sports desk. I don't know where to go from there. But we're going to get straight into the lineups as we move on. And coming in, we'll have a quick look here. And I won't do that because that zooms out. Hang on. It's bloody small. Take us through it.
That's all right. That was so awesome to see just then from Josh. He had Optus Stadium. I'm immensely jealous of him right now. I've had the pleasure of going to Optus Stadium a few times. It's an absolutely dynamic venue, and I'm just so jealous in that. That's awesome. Right, Joe?
Yeah, very good. As Sammy said, it's a unique opportunity to get to see someone at the ground, especially at a new stadium like Optus Stadium. So really exciting. Good to have him.
Okay, so we've got the lineups on screen. They've been there for a bit. I don't know if there's any late changes. I need you to check that, Jay. You're the man for late changes. I doubt there will be, but the only thing that we're unsure yet, the medical subs, if you can check on that. But from on the screen here, James Jordan has been out. He was the medical sub last time, but Bulldogs have made a few changes here. Alex Keith comes in and Cody Waitman. Anthony Scott, Vandermeer and Ryan Gardner have been omitted. Actually, Anthony Scott was the medical sub. He's been removed as well. So if we can find out who the medical subs for today, that would be cool. But yeah, what do you think? I mean, feel sorry. Players want to play, a grand final, and to miss out on a big game, it's always hard for coaches and I think players. But I think overall, as a team, they kind of co-op to get there. I think some players, as much as it hurts, will kind of take it to the heart a bit for missing out for an overall victory of the team. Did you have the medical subs there, Jay?
No, I think they come out an hour before, so we're just going to miss it.
Okay, all right. Well, you have to tune in the real TV for that. But the bounce is at 7:15. Music entertainment will start at 6:15, so you're not going to miss any of that yet. But we're going to go straight into look at the Melbourne. That's going to be the first one that we're going to talk about. And here's a promo they put out this week.
We can't see it, but we feel it. A rhythmic pumping, pulsing through the streets, echoing through the stadiums, pounding in our chests. Your heart's beating, red and blue, regardless of the distance between us, we're never far apart. Linked together by the veins of our club, stretching and pumping to cities beyond our own. The hunger, the anticipation, the belief. It unites us. We feel your pulse beating beneath our feet, the pounding of your hearts in our chest, your cheers echoing amongst us, your spirit with us in every embrace. Together, our hearts beating true. In the skies above, grand old flags fly from rooftops. Scarves sway upon fence posts, carved windows and doors. Streets are painted red and blue and Guernseys worn with pride. The demon spirit burning bright, carried all the way from east to west. Carried on our walls, in our pockets, in our hearts. From wherever you may be, you're right here with us. And together, we'll give them hell.
So yes, Melbourne, give them hell. That's their motto. 57 years. Can you believe that? Probably one of the outstanding. I think St Kilda is maybe the top for droughts. But you just love to see it. We saw with the Bulldogs, I think a lot of people in 2016 really got behind the Bulldogs. A great, footy story to break a drought like that. But Melbourne, what are we thinking, Jay? How have you seen them as we get some highlights going from the preliminary final?
Yeah, well, even that prelim, that was just A-class from the Ds. They came out firing from start to finish, and that's been the brand that they've gone with all year. It's not just been the finals. They've really stood up, and obviously minor premiers against Geelong in that last round. That was a clutch game by Max Gawn, and overall, they've just got such a well-rounded team. Their midfield's got Oliver, Petrarca, Gawn, and then you got the back line of Lever and May and the interceptors, and then forward lines, become good with Ben Brown. A lot of people were worried when Ben Brown came into that team if he would be able to squeeze into the starting 22 and then be able to make an impact, which he's done both. So he's been really handing them, obviously, Bailey Frisch and Sparrow, who you like, Jack. He's making a little impact down there as well. So overall, well-rounded team. So I'm really liking the way they're looking. What about you, Jack?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I was very dubious about Ben Brown joining Melbourne. I was very dubious about them adding him into their forward line. That was already very potent. But, I mean, it just adds another depth, isn't it? We've seen over the past few years, key forwards have become a hot commodity. And the fact that Melbourne have just gained Ben Brown for basically nothing has just added an added bonus, and it's definitely going to help him today. I have no doubt that he'll kick a few goals.
Yeah, Ben Brown, he's been a massive impact. It's just crazy. I love seeing, players that have been not given really a finals chance. I know maybe he played a few prelims with North Melbourne, I think, maybe a couple of years ago, a couple of finals.
Yeah, he did.
But it's just nice to see sometimes, players having an all right season, but then when they get to the finals, it just spurs something on for them, which is just incredible, and he's had a great performance. Another one, Max Gawn. It's 5 goals in a game. It's just incredible from a ruckman as we see him wheeling around the corner there. Just incredible from a ruckman. Probably one of the best I've seen from a ruckman ever, really. I can't really think of too many. And to do that in a preliminary final, absolutely incredible. So we'll look at it here. Last out, they defeated Geelong on the screen here by 83 points, 19-11 to 125 to 6-6-42. Jack Viney leading disposals in that game with 34. Christian Petrarca with 32. Christian Salem with 29. Clayton Oliver with 27. Max Gawn leading with 5. Kaiser Pickett, another one, 3 goals. Ben Brown, Charlie Spargo, Bailey Frisch with 2. They're going to be dangerous today. The Demons love to control the game and generate their scoring from the contest. Against Geelong in the preliminary final, they scored an unthinkable 101 points from clearance wins, the 4th most points from that source by any side on record. Led by Max Gawn in the ruck, Melbourne has been the AFL's most prolific team from centre bounce all season, outscoring opponents by an average of 6.3 points a game. In the home and away season, they won contested possessions count by an average of 11, which has increased to a mind-blowing 25 in the finals. Not only Melbourne are good around in the clearances, but it's also the best team in the league for winning post-clearance contested possessions with a differential of plus 10 in a game. Combined with the most frugal defence in the competition, it's a deadly combination. And inside 50s, they mark 25.9% of the time. And that success rate is the 5th best in the league among the top 50 total kicks in the inside 50. So a lot going their way. An impressive season from Melbourne. Look, we'll say with Bulldogs as well. Look, they've almost been on par. But I think Melbourne have just had the leg up on them this year. Impressive all year. Maybe only slipped up maybe once or twice, but you could forget about them. I think maybe the Adelaide game, that was really close and let that slip. But just in awe of a team coming from the bottom and being, down for so long. To see them come up, amazing. A few other things for Melbourne. Interesting here with Clayton Oliver. Clayton Oliver and Tom Liberatore are the top 2 players in the competition for total clearances this year. So another thing they're leading. It's stiff. I think it was 3rd in the Brownlow, so pretty close. And lost my mouse here. So yeah, that was their victory. But I just wanted to quickly show you 57-year drought. this is footage from their last win against Collingwood in, I think it's 1964. Amazing footage in colour here. There's probably not too many fans that will be watching today that have seen that victory as well. But it's just amazing how back you forget the history and the passion for all these clubs. Amazing bit of footage. Any standout other players for you for Melbourne that might make rock the ship today?
Yeah, you know me, Sammy. I'm a firm believer in Charlie Spargo. I think a small forward is due for a Norm Smith medal. I think Cozzy Pickett, Cody Waitman. But I think everyone overlooks Charlie Spargo a little bit. He's been in red-hot form, probably the best form of his, young career. But I think he's a huge possibility for the Norm today. He's just been so dynamic and amazing, and always providing opportunities for other teammates. Jay?
Yeah, I think Ed Langdon is another one that probably doesn't get looked enough. He obviously plays on the wing, so he doesn't get as much recognition, but he's been an outstanding pickup for them from Fremantle. So he's probably another smoky you could almost put to make a big impact today.
All right, well, it's time to look at the Bulldogs now.
Seed nullus. Yield to none. It's not just our motto, it's who we are. It lives in our city, our homes, and our hearts. It's been another year to remember. Adversity, uncertainty, and challenges surrounding us all. But we've stood our ground and persevered together. They told us we can't before. Remember what impossible looks like?
The damn ball is busted. Undermanned and on the road.
This weekend, it's time to do what we do, time and time again.
What about that climb?
We won't back down. We won't give up. We yield to none.
And we're saying with mottos, yield to none is the Bulldogs. They've been saying that all year, and being a big feature for Bulldogs. I think you can kind of tell from the outside a bit of us against the world. And I think maybe they used a similar kind of motive for 2016 and coming from behind. Interestingly enough, a stat here. Obviously, 2016 grand final experience, and I think it's a lot of players are nervous, and especially in your first grand final, for the nerves. But having 11 players in your side that have played in a grand final before, I think helps a lot for the Bulldogs' way. Bontempelli, Hunter, Cordy, Duria, Daniel Dunkley, McRae, Liberatore, Treloar, Wood, and Johannesson have had a grand final experience. To opposed to Melbourne, they've only had Lever. What are your thoughts on Melbourne, Jay? Bulldogs, sorry.
Good opportunity for Liberatore. Deep ball for English, saw a fair bit of it. Quick give, Bailey Smith, the hero last week.
They've been playing consistently as well, and obviously with the break that we've had, whether that favours them or not, I think it might favour them. It might give them a sneaky chance, but overall they've been playing really well, and obviously Bontempelli came runner-up in the Brownlow, so they got a lot going well for them. Jack, what do you think?
Yeah, one of the most tumultuous final series of all time, I think. If they win this today, it'll go down in history as one of the hardest and toughest teams to ever do it. It's just been epic what they've been able to achieve. Travelling all over Australia, facing Port in Port is never easy, and they just made it look so easy. They've dominated when they needed to dominate, and they just keep on winning. Their midfield is probably easily the best in the league right now, with Bailey Smith, Liberatore, Bontempelli. They're just too good. It's going to be a great game. I hope it's closer than some of the prelims, but if anybody's going to beat Melbourne today, it could be the Doggies. Sam?
Yeah, it's the greatest matchup, I think. The two best teams out of the season. I think it was what's the stat here? 16 of the 23 rounds they were occupying the top 2 spots. So I don't think we really saw this with Richmond a couple of years ago. Maybe when you play Geelong, but I don't think we've had in a long time where you've had 2 standout teams that are almost, matched in competitiveness. I think Richmond were on their own in that respect, so which makes for a whopper grand final, I think. Western Bulldogs last out, so we're seeing the prelim highlights here. 71 points, 6-9, 45 to 17 goals, 14, 116. 17 goals in a preliminary final. Wow. Jack McRae leading disposals, 36. I think he's going to be one to look out today. Impressive amount of disposals, breaking records. Bailey Dale with 24 in that game. Bailey Smith with 23. Adam Treloar with 23. Caleb Daniel 22. Bailey Smith, not only his mullet, but his performances are making him really stand out. 4 goals, incredible. Mitch Hannon with 3. Marcus Bonzapelli and Aaron Norton with 2. And this midfield. Melbourne have got a really good midfield, but absolutely match it Bulldogs. Incredible midfield, so that's definitely where the battle is going to commence. Who's going to break out of the middle and get those clearances, which I think will keep the score pretty down. It'll be high scoring in the sense that, inside 50s and stuff, but that's where the game is going to be won. Bulldogs, they love to chain their handballs from stoppages. Stoppage wins, averaging 25 disposals a game or more for their opposition through the home and away season. The Dogs have also been beasts around the contest in September, winning the contested possessions count by an average of 21 through the finals. Jack McRae is having incredible finals, like I said, averaging 37 disposals a game. Unbelievable. Equal most of a player in finals history. And if the Bulldogs turn the ball over in the middle, they're the best equipped team to defend it, conceding a score just from 24.2% of these mishaps. Like you say, Jack, if any team is going to be a chance at beating Melbourne, it's them. They played them 3 times this year. There was a pre-season game I almost forgot about, but that was the only game with a crowd. This will be the first time they play each other together with a crowd. Makes for an interesting. What are some of the mouth-watering, I think, matchups you think we'll see? Who's going to go on? Who is something to look out for tonight?
I definitely think Stephen May or Jake Lever will go to Aaron Norton. I'm leaning towards Jake Lever, given we don't really know how injured Stephen May is. But I think that's going to be a huge matchup. If the Demons manage to just hold back Aaron Norton and prevent him from his up in the air contest, then I think they'll go a long way to winning it. How about you, Joe?
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, you said Norton. I think obviously the matchup, whoever gets Ben Brown, I think that'll be obviously Keith. It's good to have him back for the Doggies fans. They obviously stiff on Gardner, I think it was, it got dropped, but huge in to have Keith, and I think he'll be the big key in stopping Ben Brown and probably the Demons getting this dub.
Yep, and the 2 results in the season, round 11, Melbourne won that one 13-9, 87. They bet the Bulldogs 8-11, 59. And round 19, the Dogs turned it around 85, 65. As I said, empty stadiums in those. So interesting. That makes it interesting. And all 3 games, including the preseason game this year, have all been under 30 points. 2 of the games had the same margin. So some people have said it's going to be that I could put all my money that this is not going to be a blowout. I don't want to eat my words here, but I think it's going to be tight. It's going to be pretty close. Bulldogs, for me, interesting. We're talking about the one game in 28 days for the Demons compared to the 14-day break that the Bulldogs had, plus all the travel, the quarantine, and extra things that they've had to do. In some people's eyes, they may say, yeah, that's a deterrent. But we saw what they did against Port after the trouble to get over there. So in a way, I think that could even affect them positively and spur them on into, that whole us against the world thing. We've had to do it harder. They've already done it hard once. They've done it before. A whopping contest it's going to be. final tips, guys. We're not far away from the music. 6:15 is when the television pre-game entertainment starts. So, final tips, margin, and a Norm Smith. Jack, we'll start with you.
All right. So, so I reckon this game's going to be won and lost in the midfield. I think both back lines won't be able to hold up against these epic forward lines. They're the best forward lines in the entire league. I think Aaron Norton will get on the back of heaps of goals. I think Ben Brown, Keziah Pickett, Charlie Spargo will get on the back of heaps of goals. I think it's going to be won and lost in the midfield and who gets the ball into their forward 50 more. I'm going to say Melbourne win it by 27, and I'm going to go Charlie Spargo, a small forward for my Norm Smith. Jay.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Jack. I think it's definitely going to be one in the middle. Whoever can be more efficient inside 50 is going to be the victor, obviously. But as far as Norm Smith's go, I'm obviously leaning towards Max. He's in as good as form as he's been in his entire career. So this is one for him that can get them done and get the dub for the D's. So I'm going for them by a close one. I'm going to go 7 points. I think it's going to be one of those real tight ones. Sammy?
7 points. Wow. That's tight. Max for me as well, and I think a smoky too with Pickett. I think one of the forwards, if they can turn around, kick a couple of goals, some game-winning magic, that could help towards the margin for me. 4 points, even tighter. So, wow, we got a massive grand final, the second ever night grand final, I think, in modern times at least. But the pre-game entertainment starting now live on Channel 7 in Australia. May the best team win, I think. And you can catch us on the Sports Desk on Friday mornings. We got our podcast out. We do regular shows and, of course, these live streams. So thank you very much for joining us. May the best team win. And I'm going to miss footy in the off-season. Really going to miss it. So good luck to all those involved. Enjoy it, fans in Perth. 60,000 there. Thank you, boys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sammy.